A quick update on the tropics as we are watching a storm developing in the Caribbean, which could make landfall and develop into a tropical storm and make landfall in Florida as early as next week. Now, right now it's not named yet, but it's Tropical Depression 4 with sustained winds at 30 miles per hour. So a relatively weak system, and it's a bit unorganized, but it is expected to strengthen and become a little bit more organized and then travel off to the north. It is moving pretty quickly, though, at about 16 miles per hour to the west-northwest. And as early as tomorrow, we could see this named and strengthened into a tropical storm, and then is expected to make landfall perhaps late on Sunday or into early Monday morning across portions of western Florida and then getting into the panhandle kind of around that Big Bend in Florida. And then the forecast does become a little bit more uncertain as to what this storm does after that. Now, that's because we do have a series of fronts that are going to be interacting with this system, as well as high pressure off to the north. And it actually makes our forecast here in Western Mass more uncertain as we head into next week. So there's going to be a lot to watch. We could see this storm perhaps maybe go across, hug the coast as it moves out to sea, and then perhaps making impacts to the northeast, or it could move inland. That's why you can see this forecast cone gets much wider all of a sudden as we move into early next week, because the forecast just is very uncertain as there's a lot of different variables that we have to be watching. So this is going to be something that we have to monitor that could influence our forecast for the second half of next week. So you can see on the tropical satellite right now that this storm is bringing a bit of some heavy rain across portions of Cuba, and even some of those lower bands getting into portions of southern Florida. And on the tropical satellite, you can see the system very unorganized, but it is starting to intensify a little bit more, and it will slowly become more organized as it moves off to the north. And it will also tap into some more of that warm water in the Gulf as well to strengthen. Now, currently, hurricane watches are in effect for portions of Florida's Big Bend, and there's also tropical storm warnings and tropical storm watches across portions of the western coast of Florida as well. Now, if this storm does become named, which it will probably as early as tomorrow, it will be Debbie. That's going to be the next name on the list. The one after that would be Ernesto. And we are starting to get closer to our peak hurricane season, which is August 20th all the way through October 20th. And that is when we see 2/3 of our names stormed in the Atlantic hurricane season. So we are going to be starting to see the tropics start to ramp up a little bit more as we move through the next few weeks or so, lasting through September and into October. Our weather today, though, right now we're starting off relatively quiet. We had some showers and storms move through last night, and a lot of that wet weather is well off to our north right now. We're just dealing with some mostly cloudy skies, some breaks of sun a little bit out there as well, and the last of our patchy fog is starting to burn up. Today we're going to be looking at partly cloudy skies with periods of mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures, though, are going to be coming back up into the upper 80s, close to 90, but when you factor in that humidity, it's going to feel like it's going to be in the middle and upper 90s across the area. So there's a heat advisory in effect once again. And we also do run the risk for an isolated shower or storm, perhaps between about 2 to 4 p.m. But the best chance for some showers and storms comes around 8 p.m. and later, lasting through the overnight hours. So here's your heat advisory for portions of Hampden County that's in effect until tonight at 7 p.m. For tomorrow, we're going to start off pretty similar to how we started off this morning. Mostly cloudy, damp, maybe a lingering shower, and some patchy fog, and it will be humid as well. And tomorrow afternoon, we do run the risk for a few showers and storms as well. So tomorrow, another rather unsettled day before we look to dry things out from Monday, before we see another chance for some showers by Monday afternoon and evening. But the first half of Monday looking drier. And again, as I mentioned earlier, we are going to be looking at a bit of an unsettled week ahead, but our forecast becomes a little bit more uncertain as we have to watch what Debbie does for the second half of next week. So we could be looking at shower chances lingering by the end of the week and perhaps into next weekend as well.